The European Union Election Observation Mission has deployed 24 personnel across the 10 regions of Ghana to observe the upcoming elections, and it will take place on December 7, 2016. Among other things, the team will also pay attention to activities of politicians and stakeholders ahead of the polls.
Well, the Deputy Chief Observer of the mission, Mark Stevens, is confident of a successful elections come December 7.
After organizing and conducting 6 successful elections, Ghana has undoubtedly become the oasis of peaceful and largely credible elections in the West African sub-region. So as another election just hangs around the corner, the European Union Observer Mission has yet again put the spotlight on the country, deploying 12 long-term observer groups across the 10 regions of the country. So why is the European Union still interested in Ghana's elections after the country has successfully organized 6 credible elections in the past?
Mark Stevens is the Deputy Chief Observer.
Our job is to follow the process very, very closely. We hope for a transparent election. We hope for a peaceful election like everybody else does. And we hope for, for the people of Ghana to be able to come out and vote on December the 7th and for their will to be respected. That's a regular expectation.
We've had 6 successful elections, so one would ask, why come back again?
I think you should see it as
You're doing well.
You are doing well, and it's a continuation of support, really. And as I say, election observation is a support mechanism. We're not here, you earlier used the word spotlight. It's not really the spotlight. It's a continuation of support for Ghana to deepen and strengthen democracy even further for the future.
Alejandro Gordi and Nuria Sancho Alvarez are among the 24 long-term observers who will be deployed across the 10 regions.
You know, these kind of missions, they have like a strict methodology, so you cannot, let's say, talk about things before they happen. Yeah, so we are observers, we are not like politicians, or we cannot make forecasts. So it's like what will happen, we will observe, we'll pass the information to our core team, which is in the capital, and so they will have like a overall picture of the situation, because if we can find something in one region, but it's not the same in another region.
We are 24 long-term observers who are going to be deployed in all the regions of the country. We have our core team here, more people who are coming the week before the election, also locally recruited staff. So we hope it's going to be enough. We are going to have a look to all the regions in the country, all the activities from the campaign and the preparations. But of course, it's not possible to know everything, not in 1 month, but even in 1 year. But we hope that we will have enough knowledge to have a balanced view of the process.
The long-term observers will be reinforced before and after election day by 32 short-term observers, a team of 7 members of the European Parliament, and representatives of EU embassies in Ghana.
A 52-year-old man has been assaulted by members of the NDC's vigilante group at Fumso for making gestures suggesting change at the convoy of the president who is campaigning in the region, John Dramani Mahama.
Well, Nana Akwesi Jamira, a native of Kontinase in the Bosomtwe district of the Ashanti region, was attending reportedly a cousin's funeral when some members of a security task force assaulted him publicly. The accused him of suggesting President Mahama's government should be changed. Meanwhile, the NDC says it is investigating the circumstances surrounding the alleged assault of Nana Akwesi Jamira.
President Mahama's campaign team was returning from Apeja in the Adansi South district at the beginning of a 4-day campaign tour of part of the Asante region. The men in NDC T-shirts on board an American Ford vehicle with registration number GW 960714 suddenly stopped and pounced on Nana Jamira in the middle of the Kumasi Cape Coast Road. It took the intervention of a Lotto agent and a military officer to prevent the men from further attacking the middle-aged man as he lay on the ground in his funeral cloth. Nana Jamira tells Joy News he has been in pain after being hit in the chest and cheeks several times with bruises on the feet.
Now,
I was walking along the road when attacks pounced on me. They were part of President Mahama's convoy.
They kicked and slapped me. I have bruises all over my legs. Some persons at the funeral came to rescue me. I'm indeed very angry. I've cursed all of them. I will not let this go. I need them to search for me and apologize.
The family is angry at the humiliation meted out to Nana Jamra, who they say is a royal. They have promised to pursue the matter. Asiedu Kofi Abraham is a nephew.
Over here, the police station here is a minor. Only 2 officers that I have seen around. What can they do? What can this matter do? So we will go to Kumasi, if possible. We will go and see the commander over there. But if not, we will go by the traditional way. And I believe the traditional way is going to help us. We are going through the traditional way. That will help us. Because we don't understand. We don't understand why that thing should be happening.
Meanwhile, the Asante Regional NDC campaign team is not surprised at the conduct of Nana Jamra and several others who did same. Spokesperson Samid Akalilu says the party will investigate the case once it comes to its attention.
I'm not aware as a spokesperson of the campaign team. That has not come to my attention. And so it will be difficult for me to pass a verdict or a comment. And so all I can tell you that if it comes to my attention, based on the evidence and facts that are available, we can make an official comment to that effect. But if you ask about the orientation, I want to believe that we ran one of the most disciplined and most decent campaigns in recent times. John Dramani Mahama represents peace. He has always said it, that he's not divisive, he's not diabolic, he loves his people, he has united Ghana. And everybody who follows John Dramani Mahama tries to emulate his behavior. And so what the issue you've just mentioned is news to me.
Meanwhile, the Fumso police have launched investigations after it issued Nana Jamra with medical form.
The increasing level of cybercrime is adversely affecting the growth of electronic transactions in the country.
That's according to cybersecurity firm E-Crime Bureau. The Bank of Ghana is encouraging electronic cash transactions over the use of physical cash towards the cashless economy agenda. But founder and principal consultant of E-Crime Bureau, Albert Enchi-Buesiako, tells Joy Business cybercrime is unduly hampering e-commerce activities.
Well, increasingly, what we have picked up is fraud, especially in the cyberspace, is undermining the growth of e-commerce. We've seen this across the mobile money platform. We've seen this across the e-banking. We've seen this across the private sector, even SMEs using emails to communicate, to facilitate business with partners and suppliers abroad. Ordinary Ghanaian will have to become cyber aware. It is very important. Businesses will have to adopt cybersecurity best practices and guidelines. We need to adopt the right technology. E-commerce stakeholders, developers should have to adopt the best development tools to make sure that we get ourselves out of this mess.
But to what extent is the impact?
Well, financial losses, that's the topmost, and every sector in Ghana is losing money to fraud. We also have reputational damage. That is another key thing. If you are a financial institution, a bank, and your system is compromised through a hack, absolutely, that is going to have impact on how customers see you as a financial service provider. These and others, generally, ordinary users of the e-commerce product or service feels unsafe if we allow cybercrime to go on without addressing them. But as I'm saying, it's a multi-stakeholder approach, not just the government developing a cyber strategy or guidelines for the country, but also individuals and also businesses will have to take some kind of responsibility. Okay.
Now the story, the mining sector is still reeling from the recent energy crisis that saw a substantive number of the labor force in the industry as well as the manufacturing and extractive areas being laid off.
The effect of the energy crisis in the past 4 years is said to be hampering the country's quest to maximize its gains from the mining sector. In an interview with Joy Business at the recently held Local Content and Investment Forum here in Accra, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Mr. Suleiman Kone, said the situation is retrogressing and hitting hard on the Chamber's local content agenda.
We if you are not able to resolve the electricity challenge, then our ability to really, get a lot more out of the mining industry in terms of local content would be challenged. Because for me, caustic soda is one of the major inputs to the mining industry. But the good thing is that it finds application in other sectors of the economy as well, and then the byproducts of the caustic soda production. So I think this is a power issue. I think we need to have a look at it again and make sure that we resolve it for the long term. Because like I said, I have tried to engage a few investors, and the refrain is that until we have stable, reliable, and cost-effective power, it will be a challenge for us to exploit that resource. Don't forget about VACO. VACO is essentially the same kind of challenge. So as a country, if we really want to transform our economy, it's something we talk about all the time. We need to change the base of the economy, transform, ensure that we have manufacturing growing and all of that. The base of industry is power. So until we resolve our power issue, it's not just the availability, but how cost-effective it is. I think that it will be difficult for us to make headway as far as industrialization is concerned. Local content is not just child's play. If you do it well, we can see the transformation and the growth in manufacturing. That should be the focus. That how do you leverage local content in a strategic industry like mining to grow other sectors of the economy, particularly manufacturing and say services. So that is where we should be looking at.
And that's where we also call a time on the news tidbits for the morning. But we have a lot more of the news, and we're going to do a review of the newspapers, look at the various stories displayed on the various online portals. Of course, foremost, we have to go to myjoyonline.com.
All right.